Mira, in our last conversation, you talked about the freedom to be yourself and how we need to have that as leaders before we can really give it to others.
Yep.
But with
Yep.
all the coaching that you've done, and I know you've coached many, many different leaders in different organizations at different levels, what is the biggest thing that people struggle with in being themselves? I know that's kind of a big question, but what's the biggest stumbling block that you've seen that people have?
Uh, I think it's because we are taught that we shouldn't be ourselves. And there's this idea that yourself is not okay, that we are not good as we are, that we learn, over years of our growing up. And so that fear that who we are isn't good enough. So how can I be that? Where actually it's very opposite. Who we are, who we really are, uh, is beyond that. And so when we can tap and see that part of ourselves, it changes everything. I mean, I've seen transformations that people went through in seconds, where they just glimpse the power of who they really are. And this is what people follow. When somebody says, this person just has a charisma, and whatever they do, it just falls in. And I feel so great about them and around them. And so that's it. It's really that simple.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I've just read the book Joy Inc. with written by Rich Sheridan. And he talks about running the experiment. And I think people have to just they have to just take a step forward in the right direction and run the experiment. Just do something. Do
Mm,
something that is truly more authentically you and see what happens. There's not this, you're not going to wake up tomorrow morning, right? And everything's going to be perfect. It's one step at a time, but do something. So it
mm,
starts with having that realization that you so often coach people in how to get that realization and break through the barrier, but then do something. Take one
mm.
action, however small, but take a step forward.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, it's really interesting to me that we often think that it has to be something huge, and but the only thing we can do is take a first step. We cannot run before we walk. It's impossible to just jump and be somewhere. It really is one step at a time, and it's really possible, and it's really rewarding.
Yeah. Let's talk about that in our next conversation.
Let's do that.
And I have to get rid
Lynn,
of the thing on my head.